So far, no progress. Typical. So much for being one of the most prestigious medical research facilities on Mars. Kevorkian Institute of Biomedical Research. Well, sooner or later, they had to send someone responsible down from Psych to make heads or tails of this mess. Knowing the professional aptitude of the people at Diagnosis is probably nothing more than normal on-the-job stress. I've got better things to do than check up on every stir-crazy miner. I'm an MD, for science sake. This had better be good, or an intern is leaving the same way the garbage does, out in airlock. Why do they insist on dragging me around this massive complex? The layout of this place is absolutely horrible. I can barely navigate in this labyrinth of cramped corridors. Everything has to be modular these days. What's more, I could be there and back in 20 minutes if the workers have left me any environment suits. Those reports have been getting on my nerves. Of course people are going a little crazy. I'm on the brink myself with this workload, and the frivolous, time-wasting footwork doesn't help. I swear, Grassi just likes to make work for me. We all do our own part for the greater benefit of the Commonwealth. I know. Ain't that just peachy? I need a drink. The indicators of stress-induced psychosis include irritability, uncooperativeness, irrationality, and, to an extent, risk of physical violence, especially if the patient has a history of abusing substances such as alcohol. This, however, is on another level entirely. The patient displayed the classic symptoms of a severe, deep-seated, violent psychiatric condition: hallucinations, delusional convictions, extreme irrationality and paranoia, and hostile tendencies. When nurses first unstrapped him, he immediately leaped onto Orderly Adams and began to pummel him while screaming anachronistic nonsense. Heathen or blasphemer were among his repertoire. Femur. I don't know why he'd use the medical designation for the thigh bone in his ranting, or what he'd know about it. He's a minor from E7. Name tag identifies him as one Lewis Dobson. Anyway, he displayed remarkable strength and fervor in his attack. It was as if he was entirely focused on causing the orderly severe bodily harm and ignore the security personnel when they tried to pull him off. A stun gun was needed to finally put him out of action. Alternately, when he isn't trying to do a number on our employees' insurance policies, he's often very calm and orderly when among the other psych patients. He's very sociable, often having long conversations with them and gesticulating wildly. While he's locked in solitary or observation, he's often seen sitting calmly on his knees with his hands clasped together and murmuring into the ceiling. This odd behavior is certainly indicative of insanity, not to mention it's like nothing I've ever seen in my time as a clinical psychologist. More details are to follow as an in-depth analysis is carried out. Over the past 2 hours, it has become clear that we're dealing with something completely new. We took some of his blood a while ago to check for intoxicants or other chemical anomalies that might have had a hand in his behavior. We thought that perhaps this could be drug-induced. The price was the god's broken nose, but the results came back completely clean. We also put him under mild sedation and scanned his brain with neuroimaging devices and encephalograms. Now, this is odd, because although the blood was tested several times and contained no narcotic stimulant, the parts of the brain that are responsible for the brain's opiates and feelings of euphoria, including the hypothalamus, which is responsible for endorphin production, were the most active. The subject has also as of late displayed increasing signs of dementia. Continually reclusive and solitary, he refused any food we gave him and began hugging himself. Does he really think he can survive like that, sustain himself by thought alone? This is a sure sign of a deluded mind. He also thinks he's speaking to someone whom he has referred to as his lord, not to mention often vocalizing in some unintelligible guttural language. This is most disconcerting and will have to be looked into. However, his behavior couldn't be the more inverse one among others. He is increasingly well-natured and talkative when with the other patients, and has been seen forming small groups with them for an unknown purpose. We have decided not to interfere and simply observe for now. That was a mistake. I'm hearing this. They got out. When we came in, they jumped the guards and killed Adams. All of them. We managed to seal the doors. One of them knew it. He messed with the doors. He was electrocuted, but we managed to open it. I think that's what he was doing. The aid spread through the air. There's skin contact. I can't be sure. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They're crazy. Please, if you find this. What?
Shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. and I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the
What do you think you're
Lord
doing?
when I lay
No.
my vengeance upon thee.